Alright, how we doing, folks? Boom! Marcos 1205 numbers after the name. I'm excited to bring you guys this footage, man. My first Infinite Warfare footage we throw up over here on the channel. Off the Infinite Warfare beta that just passed. Obviously playing on the Xbox One. That's how I roll when it comes to duty, man. No offense to my PS4 brethren, even though they get everything first down, all that jazz. Good for y'all. But I still play on the Xbox One. I just feel a lot more comfortable. If you notice that the colors are a little bit crazy, it's because I was actually playing with colorblind settings. So there's a bunch of settings that you could do to change the visuals of it. I'm actually going to be... I'm going to be excited to try them out when the game comes out, because one of the things I noticed in the beta is that graphically it looked kind of blech. And I was actually playing around just with the colorblind settings. I thought it was just going to change my minimap, but it actually ended up changing pretty much everything on here. Like greens became purple. I thought it was kind of strange, and I'm not too familiar with the colorblind stuff, but I kind of played with this for a couple games, so bear with me. And then I think next week's footage is back to just regular standard color. But for colorblind folk, hey man, I'm always looking out for y'all people, man. A lot to talk about. I wanted to kind of do this episode the bad, and then that following episode the good of the game. I don't know how much good I have honestly to say of it right now, aside from the fact that it's still a Call of Duty game, so it's good in that nature. But I got a lot of bad to say, man. The first thing I noticed, and right off the bat that I didn't like, and it's kind of just an Infinity War thing, and I've heard a lot of people say that it's actually... saying it's time to kill is too quick is not the correct way of saying it. It's more of the fact that the compensation lag that was happening over there was throwing everything off, and it made it seem like people were dying quicker than they should. We can't really test any of that out right now because we weren't in private matches or anything like that. Here's what I noticed. I got dropped quick, man. Like, melted type quick. Like, people saw me and they just dropped me. And it wasn't too much of a shock for me because this is an Infinity Ward game, you know. This is how I remember Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, which were games I didn't fully enjoy because of just how quickly you got dropped. And I never really fully got on board with that. I like my time to kill be a little bit longer. Sure, my kills might take a little bit longer to do, but it also means I live a little bit longer. And I can appreciate that. Can I live? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of stuff I get down with over here. A little triple right there. Okay, I feel you. I feel you. So it took me a little bit of a while to kind of get used to the time to kill. That's the main main game mechanic that I didn't really appreciate. And once again, I wasn't too shocked by it. If you play an Infinity War game, it's how it's gonna feel. And guess what? There's people out there that really like Infinity War games, so I assume that there's people out there that like this. The other gameplay thing that I noticed was the quickscope, man. And I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talk about this. It was pretty wild. Cast quick scoping left and right like it was no tomorrow. I mean, it was once again where there's something here that just doesn't make sense to me when the sniper rifle is better up close than the shotgun, you know, and that's kind of how it was in this game. I was like, whoa, like Cast was just dropping me even quicker with the sniper rifle, and I felt like they could nail me anywhere, and that was a one-shot, one-kill. Not the biggest fan of that. The rigs. Let's talk about a little bit of the rigs. So rigs are basically like specialists without the personality and without the distinction of them. Not really the biggest fan of that. You know, the thing that kind of made the specialists alright was kind of you were playing as a character. It had some modest backstory, but at least they kind of talked and they kind of interacted with each other. Those little things really gave them a little bit of personality where I kind of accepted them as, alright, these things in Call of Duty. The rigs is kind of just a bluch version of them, you know, it's just a bland version of them. And check this out. I thought maybe I could like run down over here. Nope, can't do that. The rigs is just a bland version of them. Not really any personality to them. And the weaponry, I don't know, some of the stuff just seemed a little bit like in this case we're playing with I want to call it the chain gun, but I don't even know, the claw, which ricochets bullets off walls or whatever. It's kind of like the first guy you start with, an assault guy. Wasn't really that great. It wasn't really the worst. He had ping as a trait they have, so you had basically a weapon and a trait, or you could end up having some of the like the combat focus, for example, is the second one I unlocked under this guy. So there could be like maybe 2 traits that you could carry at a time and whatnot. Some are a little bit ridiculous. There seems to be like an annihilator type of gun, the eraser that just kills people like instantly, but melts them like completely. Seems to be a little overpowered. Whatever. I can't speak much of the balancing issues because I didn't really unlock too much, and although I tried the 3 initial ones and I did unlock a few, I honestly didn't really, I just didn't really feel it. I didn't really like it, so I didn't really play that much with it. I was like, I'm just gonna worry about the gunplay itself. The guns, I mean, there's supply drops, there's variants. I think they're trying a little bit too hard, you know, and that's kind of why I was talking to some of my people about even before the beta came out, I was like, it just sounds like they're trying too hard. Like, there's too much going on here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, Call of Duty was working just fine. We don't really need all these crazy innovations. So I don't really like the variants on the weapons. I don't like the fact that you could only get a nuke with certain weapons. That seems kind of just stupid. Or certain variants of the weapon. I don't like that we don't have any method of really telling what variant of a weapon a person has. So I got a gun that after I killed somebody regenerated my health quicker, which was cool. I was like, oh, that's dope. And the more I thought about it, I was like, that's dope for me, but like for this other cat who like is running at me and thinks that like he's about to pop me because I just got, maybe I'm weak from this gunfight, and all of a sudden I'm back to max health without him knowing. That's just like unfair. Like there's no, it's not a playing field. And this is just to begin with describing the guns and the variants itself. I'm not even talking about the salvage system. So you basically get your supply jobs like we used to do, right? There's no crypto keys. It's called salvage keys or whatever. I don't know. Whatever the hell it's called. But you also get like scrap, which you could turn and use it towards buying or one of the variants of the gun. So there is a way where you could get one of the variants of the gun that you want. Just go through tiers or whatever. I'm not sure. I've heard that in the beta they're actually giving you more scrap than you could expect in the game, and I felt like I didn't get any scrap during the beta. So I can't even imagine what it'll end up being during the game. It seems like definitely a better system than the Black Ops 3 one, but not by much, right? Like, because the Black Ops 3 one was so broken that like I still haven't seen a FAMAS yet, and I ain't getting none of those supply jobs to the point where, in all fairness, I don't want to fully blame it on. I mean, there's a lot of factors as to why my love affair with Call of Duty is coming slowly to an end. But one of the big ones is the supply drops. You know, the fact that I realized, hey man, I'm really committed to this game. I put in days, literally days throughout the year playing this game, and I'm not gonna get the FAMAS, and I'm not gonna get the MP40, and you want me to pay like more for that? Like that to me was like a line that I was like, nah, it's not worth it at that point. And I feel that this case is gonna be like, oh, you want me to put in X amount of time or X amount of cash, because obviously you could buy all this stuff, to get that variant of a gun that I don't even think should exist. Woo! That's a tough sell, boys. That's a tough sell. So overall, my impressions, listen, man, it's like an 8 out of 10 if I had to give it something. Graphically, it seemed a little bit, but I also was reading that they had some settings that you could change that make it look a little bit better, like reduce the motion blur and some of the filigrane. I don't even know how those things were set up there then, unless they just want to surprise you when the original game came out. And I don't really want to talk about graphics too much because I've seen where graphics change from beta to the actual game, even in quick spans, you know. So I'm not really too worried about that. I remember in Titanfall, the original graphics in the beta were but in the game they were pretty baller. So we'll see about that. Overall, I'm still optimistic about the game. I'm still going to play it, but there's a high probability you're going to be seeing a lot of Modern Warfare remastered on the channel. Straight up. Oh, also, the movement system's like a bootleg of Black Ops 3. Deuces.